architectural design. So it looks very traditional. It does not have any of the elements of what we consider Japanese culture or the aesthetics of Japanese culture. Fast forward to later on in American history when the Japanese internment occurred in the 1940s. And so this church became part of another layer of Los Angeles history. So sadly, the Japanese were removed from Little Tokyo, sent to internment camps. And during this period of World War II, African Americans were coming to Los Angeles from the South. And this church became a sanctuary for them. They were coming here to work. Some of them lived in the area. In fact, my own grandfather lived on San Pedro, a few blocks from here, in the 1940s during that period. So Bronzeville was a time when many African Americans came in after Japanese were displaced because of the war, and they started their own businesses in some cases. There was a jazz scene here, music, but that period only lasted for a short time. And when after the war, a Japanese American community came back to Little Tokyo, they were able to reestablish their community institutions, including this church.
Today, this building is home to 3 Asian American Pacific Islander arts organizations: Visual Communications, LA Art Corps, and East West Players.
It's a wonderful example of a space that brings people together for performances, not only Asian American performances, but all different ethnic groups have come here to use the space. The arts have a platform here. So it's really important to preserve these places and share their history so that people know that people from all over the world and indigenous people have been in Los Angeles for hundreds of years.
In this week's feature story, our own Maria Hall Brown sits down with the executive director of LA Family Housing, Stephanie Klasky-Gamer. We discuss their core mission to transition people out of homelessness and poverty and the future for the organization at this crucial point in time. Let's hear her story.
I am delighted to be joined today by the Executive Director of LA Family Housing, Stephanie Klasky-Gamer. So nice to be here.
Welcome. We're so thrilled to have you here at the Irmis Family Campus at LA Family Housing. LA Family Housing remains rooted in that understanding that there are multiple solutions to end homelessness in people's lives. From the immediate short-term intervention to get people indoors off the streets, but ultimately to permanently end homelessness for them, they need an apartment that is safe, affordable, and accessible.
But there's a lot more than that besides the permanent housing. So what are the focuses?
So LA Family Housing, at the core of all of our work, is rooted in the mission to help families and individuals transition out of homelessness and poverty.
You know, being an optimistic person, you obviously are, or else you wouldn't be dedicated to this field for so long. Where do your hopes and dreams lie?
My hopes and dreams lie in changing the narrative. I want people to feel confident that they've seen success. They've seen success in one person who they used to see outside of their grocery store every week, who moved into interim housing, moved into their own home. I think our best move is developing more housing. Our best move is supportive housing across Los Angeles, because with that, we will see success. We will see people moving off of our streets. But we have to change the narrative that nothing's getting done. Because, as you said, I'm an optimistic person, but I also rely on data. There is a ton getting done, and there are thousands of people's lives who are transitioning out of homelessness and poverty every day. We just need to share their stories.
Learn how to make sourdough bread from an expert. Bring your toddlers to an interactive outdoor performance, or enjoy the 3rd live music show of the Skirball Summer Concerts. All this up next on Things to Do.
Bread making became a top hobby during the pandemic, and now's your chance to get in on the baking trend. Learn how to make sourdough starter and bread at the West Los Angeles Regional Library with a free in-person workshop. Bree Wakeland, a food preservationist who regularly leads workshops around the city, will be teaching participants how to successfully make sourdough starter and bread, which they'll be able to take home with them. The Sourdough Bread Workshop is recommended for teens and adults and will take place in the community room in the West Los Angeles Library on Sunday, August 7th at 1:30 p.m. For more details, check out lapl.org/events. Attention families and parents of young kids in Los Angeles. The Arroyo Seco Regional Library is holding an end of summer celebration in the park. Bring your babies and toddlers to this free in-person storytelling event where they will enjoy an interactive outdoor performance of Snook Nook and the Robot Puppet Show, face painting, and more fun activities. Bring your own picnic blanket to join in on this fun event. The end of summer celebration in the park will take place at the Eagle Rock Recreation Center on Saturday, August 6th at 10 a.m. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. Do you feel like grooving to live music that tells stories of humanity? Then you should check out the free concert of Nefesh Mountain, the boundary-pushing bluegrass Americana band which shares the beauty of Jewish culture with the world. This concert is part of the 25th summer concert season at the Skirball, which brings together an eclectic lineup from around the world to Los Angeles. Everyone is welcome to attend this free concert, where first come, first served walk-up tickets will be available. The Nefesh Mountain concert will take place at the Skirball Cultural Center on Thursday, August 4th at 8 p.m. with doors and galleries opening at 6:30 p.m. For more details about the concert and the venue, visit skirball.org/programs. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
So the public library, to me, growing up, meant like a wealth of knowledge, like a bank of knowledge, is where my imagination and curiosity was stirred. Also, the beginning of opening up my mind. So the art on the library card, this figure Kintaro, and actually I referenced an image from a woodblock print, and the woodblock print was done by Yoshitoshi, who lived in the late Edo period, which was the end of the 19th century. Kintaro himself is like an iconic image in Japan, just because he's the symbol of boys growing up, a symbol of virility, strength, courage. Kintaro usually takes out evil, and so he quells demons and brings in good luck. I thought this would be great for like LA to have as like an amulet of a kind. Nice like quarter-mile walk to get to the library from our house. You know, we were able to scope out the neighborhood and see what was going on, and stopped over at some friend's house, and we'd all go to the library, catch Stacy. Well, I used to trip out because she would come in wearing jeans.
Yeah.
My experience with Pearl, just taken aback that there was another Japanese American in Boyle Heights working at a library. I was intrigued as a young boy, and she wasn't the atypical librarian that I thought of, that I saw like on TV.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Oh my gosh, it's been a long time. I mean, our current library card is, you know, bright because it's got orange and it's got kind of a purple, but yours is just so like, hello, here's your library card. It's great. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I thought it was really cool that Pearl was there at Stevenson. I feel very privileged because it's almost like I'm the face of the city. I feel like Ben Franklin on the C note or something, you know. But it feels in a way sort of like appreciation for the city in kind of giving back with what I've made, what I've created. Yeah, I feel very honored. When we shared the sample to young kids, they were really psyched about getting it, but then I had an opportunity to share it with my friend Alex's mom, she's like 80, and when she saw the library card, she was so hyped to go get it like the next day, and I had to like calm her down and say, hey, wait, it hasn't been launched yet. So, you know, that's super exciting when you can get a broad range of people who are aged from young people to old excited about a library card. I think that's super cool.
Okay, good morning and welcome to the Los Angeles City Council. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd. I'm Noreen Martinez, the President of the City Council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfeld. Bonin.
Bonin, present.
Buscaino.
Here.
Cedillo. Absent. De Leon.
Here.
Harris Dawson. Absent. Koretz.
Present.
Krikorian. Lee.
Present.
Martinez.
Present.
O'Farrell.
Present.
Price. Here. Rahman. Absent. Rodriguez. Absent. 10 members present and a quorum, Madam President.
First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of July 29th, 2022.
Mr. Koretz moves and Mr. De Leon seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Mr. Buscaino moves and Mr. Bonin seconds. Next.
Madam President, today is Tuesday and it's time for the flag salute.
Mr. Blumenfield, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Happy to. Ask everyone to rise and place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to warn you now. If you continue to disrupt this meeting, I will ask the sergeants to escort you out. You've been warned. Thank you. We're going to, excuse me. No, I'm not starting anything. I'm just asking you politely to please respect the decorum of this council chambers. If you cannot do that, I'm going to ask you to leave. Thank you. Members, we're going to go ahead and, Madam Clerk, can we run through the agenda?
Thank you. Items 1 through 13 are items noticed for public hearing. Item 14 is an item for which public hearing has been held. Items 15 through 33 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, without objection, those items are not before us. Members, you wish to call any of these items special? Mr. Bonin?
Yes, for Mr. Harris Dawson, would like to call item 3 special for an amending motion. I don't know if you
Do you have it ready for him? This is item number 3 for Mr.
I'm sorry, 31, not 3.
Okay, item 31 special for an amending motion?
And
Yeah.
I have the motion if you want me to.
You have it?
read
Sure,
Yes.
great.
Who has it to read into the record?
Yes. So the motion is that the item be amended to adopt the following instruction. Replace attachment A of the 2021-22 Capital and Technology Improvement Expenditure Program Year-End Reappropriations Report, Council File 22-600-S92, with the attached revised version, attachment A, to correct a reporting error. And the change is very simple. It is in the second table to eliminate row 8, which is rehab U1 Van Ness to West, 50 SAGS, $785,985. So that's simply removed from the table.
Okay, does he have a second? If not, I will second that. Thank you. Okay, I'll go ahead and second that. Is there any others, Mr. Bonin?
14 for comments, please.
Item 14 for Mr. Bonin for comments. Any other members, any other specials, Mr. De Leon?
Yeah, Madam President, thank you very much, and good morning. For file item number 14, I do move that we adopt the version of the ordinance in communication A from the city attorney on the council agenda and receive and file communication B.
Do you have a second?
Just go ahead.
Second by Mr. Buscaino, thank you. Members, are there any other specials? If there are any other specials, I'm going to go ahead and ask the city clerk to please indicate what items are ready for us to vote on.
Currently, the council can vote on item number 14.
We're going to hold that on the desk. Mr. Bonin has requested that item to be called special for comments.
Thank you. The remaining items have public comment cards if you'd like to go to public comment. All right, let's go ahead and take public comment. I'm going to call, if you call your name, please come on up. Arnold Sachs?
Is Arnold Sachs in the room?
We could put these on hold.
You want to come on up?
Yeah, so market special, so we have everything on hold now.
Mr. Sachs, are you here? If
Arnold
so-
Sachs, are you here? Is anyone playing that music? Can you please turn that off? Arnold Sachs, you've filled out cards for a number of items, so why don't we give them 3 minutes for its items and 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead and start with your items.
And right before you start, Mr. Sachs, we have a lot of people signed up, so please stick to the items so we can do this efficiently. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. There's a couple items that I'm interested in. First of all, I'm wondering why you don't issue MICLA funds, municipal issued City of Los Angeles bond, instead of TEFRA funds. It hasn't been updated since 1982. That's almost 40 years. It's unaccountable. Funding is unaccountable. Why is that happening? Why don't you issue MICLA funds to repair some of these people's homes so they don't have to be moved out? You have a problem in Mr. Price's district where you had an explosion and people are living in a hotel because they're waiting for some settlement. So we issued MICLA funds, then they'd be able to get in their apartments. And it'd be about equality, not equitable. We need more equality in this city, not equitable. We already have equitable. Why don't we discuss why the city and the state and everything was shut down 3 years ago? Who shut everything down?
We seem to be veering off topic, Mr. Sachs.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm veering. You're weary.
Okay, so this is your last warning. Let's get on topic, Mr. Sachs.
So I'm concerned about Los Angeles Airport. Why they're spending $1.6 billion at Los Angeles Airport. And what is it? Why is it Los Angeles World Airport? There's an item on the agenda
again,
about that.
We don't have any item on the agenda. So let's say
Yes, we do. We have a board appointment to the Los Angeles Airport Commission.
So if you want to
So
talk
who
about
are
the
they
appointment,
overlooking?
go ahead.
What is their oversight about? Is it a Los Angeles World Airport, Los Angeles International Airport, LAX? Which airport is it? And why is it a private corporation located on 19700 Vermont Avenue? That's a Delaware corporation. So why is a proprietary department in the city of Los Angeles all of a sudden a private corporation? And who's making money off that? I'll tell you who's making money off that. Torrance Transit is making money. They're the ones investing in all those terminals. That's what it's all about. It's about investments. So what about hope? What about this?
Okay, so let's get back on the items. You seem to...
Oh, well, we're on the items, Mr. City Attorney. Are you a mosquito?
Okay, so we're going to send you to general public comment now. So
Oh, okay.
Anything
So we
relevant to the
have
city.
general public comment. So here's an item about $1.3 trillion being spent by the Congress. Where's that goddamn money at? This is about the fucking pandemic relief. It says something about last June. This is from 2022. Last June, Congress passed $1.9 trillion in pandemic relief. This one says Biden passed $1.7 trillion, Build Back Better. This one says something about Biden's signature issue. It says something about the CARES Act money, about $20 trillion in CARES Act money. This one's about hope. How do you trademark hope? This is a picture of Obama when he's running for president in 2008. This says hope, but this one has a trademark. Why you trademark hope? This one is...
Thank you, Mr. Sachs.
You laugh all you want. You're the people living in
The next speaker is Mike Greenspan.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs.
Sachs, thank you. Mike Greenspan, are you here? Come on up. You filled out cards for all the items and general public comments, so go ahead and give them 3 minutes and start with your items.
Okay, Mike Greenspan, and I'm not going back to Florida, you anti-Semitic, anti-Christ Catholics. I'm going to be Nixonian and perfectly clear about it. Now, the housing over there at 100 Sunset, I figure from what I've read, it was dragging, kicking, and screaming. And of course, when it's a city, the rules apply differently to whether you and I are doing it. So, choo-choo, it got railroaded through. And of course, Mr. Bonin's not running again because I'm sure that was the reason for his recall. The people don't like it. District 11's NIMBYville, the capital of not in my backyard. And so that's why these things happen. Now the liquor store. Oh, the one over on Coanga in, what's his name's district? What's his name? The other Mitch, O'Farrell. Yes, John Walsh used to say, you don't have to go too far to find liquor. I remember reading a book called Confessions of a Failed Southern Lady, and what they did on Saturday at University of Mississippi would drive 75 miles to Memphis to get liquor. Is there anybody in this room in Los Angeles had to drive 75 miles to buy liquor legally? I don't think so. Maybe you walk 75 feet. And let me tell you what it's like. Because I live over there in Krikorian's district and a stone's throw from Nuri's district. Just walk down Lancashire. You got all these wetbacks getting drunk, falling on the sidewalk. Shut up, I'm talking! On the sidewalk, getting drunk.
Hey,
so we got more places for y'all to get drunk on the sidewalk. I hope you're happy. Boo on you too.
Okay.
Get fucked, everybody.
Mr. Greenspan, I need you to get back on the topic.
Okay, so, hey, look. All right, okay.
Mr. Greenspan, get back on topic or I'm going to have you move into general public comment. Get back on your items.
I'm back. Okay, well, I'm just telling you, and you know it's your district where these things happen. So let's go. Hey, if it's bad to sit someplace, what about when people are drunk on the sidewalk? Oh, that's okay, I guess. Now, another thing, the Ethics Commission. We've got another appointee from District 11 on the Ethics Commission. All these appointments, 3 of which are from the mayor, reappointments, and 1 is from the council president, it's a reappointment. And one of the things, the Ethics Commission, it can't do everything. Oh, if you do your paperwork wrong, slap, slap, slap. They slap you on the wrist. But has it stopped Mr. Weezar or Mr. Englander? No. To get those things done, you have to go to the FBI. The Ethics Commission can't do anything. All their paperwork is good for is toilet paper. What ethics? What ethics are we talking about in LA? Oh, all good council members have the FBI investigating them and indicting them. But the Ethics Commission can't do a thing about that. Now, ethics, the City Ethics Commission. Now, we've got another thing coming up, and 8, 7, 6, fuck you.
Okay. So, no. So, okay, all right, hold on, everybody.
Hold on for just a second.
Mr. Greenspan has a right to speak. He's going to be quiet when you're speaking. Oh, no. We're going to run. So, Miss, right there, you've been shouting the whole time I've been telling you. You are being warned right now. You will get kicked out if you keep that up. All right, this is your only warning. So, now, everybody, we're going to let Mr. Greenspan finish uninterrupted and get this meeting going, and then you'll all have your turn to speak, okay? If you don't, it is just going to delay things if you don't let him finish.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Mr. Greenspan, you have your 1 minute of general public comment.
Where's Mr. Wesson? Oops. Now, there was somebody who would have a canopy in the valley at the northwest corner of Sepulveda and Ventura. And she's got the Black Lives Matter sign, and I walked by there one day and we talked, and she had seen Mr. Spindler and Mr. Previn on TV, and she asked me a question. Who in city council or who in office does not deserve to be there? And I thought about it for a minute, and I said, Paul Koretz. The guy thinks money grows on trees. He's been in politics over 3 decades, and I haven't had a chance to vote against him yet until June 7th. And for someone who's been in office that long, he only got 24% of the vote. It's going to be fun watching him get his Bruin butt kicked like Gil Cedillo because he was too busy fucking his deputy Debbie Kim to actually work his campaign. And I don't care what you fucking think. I'm going to say what's on my mind. Get fucked.
All right, thank you. So,
Okay,
Miss,
next speaker.
Miss, please be quiet. Oh,
No,
okay.
stop. The next speaker is Ian Paisley. Ian Paisley, are you here? There's no one here with that name? I'm going to move on to the next speaker then. The next speaker is Harold Bigsley. Harold Bigsley, are you here? There's no one here by that name. I'm going to move on. Alicia Smiles. Alicia Smiles, are you here? Come on up. You signed up to speak in general public comment. You have 1 minute.
Hi, my name is Alicia Smiles. Last week, last Friday, I was arrested on false charges and thrown in jail for a week after calling 911 for help for a domestic violence issue. And I just wanted to elaborate on what the first QAnon soldier was saying. Where is the money going? Where did that pandemic relief money go? Obviously, it went to the police. I already know that. And you wonder why you have these kids out in the streets that don't trust or don't like the police, and then they treat people like this. Also, the jail cells are overflowing, so I don't know what you're going to do when you criminalize poverty. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Anae Castillo. Anybody here with that name? Anae Castillo? Are you here? You signed up to speak on items 14 and 15 and general public comments. You've got 2 minutes for your items and 1 minute for your general public comment.
Yes,
Go ahead.
My name's Anaí Castillo, and I'm bringing up the Crisis and Bridges Housing Project. I wanted to know how many people will this project be housing? What is the, who's in charge of this project? And how long is the process, the housing placement process?
So please continue. This is your turn to talk.
This is your time to speak.
Okay. The reason why I'm here is because I am part of the Midnight Mission. I'm here representing Kingdom Warriors Foundation, and we are seeking funding for some shelters that we want to bring up, and yeah, that's why I'm here. I want to know how these resources are actually being spread throughout the communities to help the homeless. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Alex. Alex, you signed up to speak on item number 14 in general public comment. You have 1 minute for each. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'm here representing District 10 because apparently no one's here to do it for me. In a city of 4 million people, we have 20 minutes of public comment 3 times a week. And not to mention, some of you can't even pay attention and look at me like Kevin De Leon. I took time off work to be here today. I work a full-time job, but I took time off because these meetings are not accessible for people anymore. All of these people here have full-time jobs and spend their time and their resources and money to help the most vulnerable. We're basically doing your jobs for free at this point. And yet when we're standing here saying you're killing us, the police are killing us, where are all these people supposed to go? You're looking at your phones. But if we scream out in anger, someone goes on Twitter and says, someone called me a bitch today. Try to work at Starbucks for a day and see what you get called, okay? 4118 is failure. It is death. It is death at your hands. Answer me one question. When has criminalizing poverty ever worked?
The next speaker is America Barbosa. America Barbosa, are you here? Come on up. You signed up to speak on item number 14 and general public comment. You have 1 minute for each. Go ahead.
Translate, español.
¿Necesita traductor?
Sí.
Ok, comience, nomás le pido que hable un poquito despacio para que le puedan traducir, ¿ok?
Sí, está bien, gracias.
Ok, acérquese un poquito al micrófono para que le puedan oír.
Ok.
Ok, comience, por favor.
Ok, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Estoy aquí porque queremos, yo y todo mi grupo queremos pedir que no nos quiten el apoyo de vivienda, porque somos muchas personas y necesitamos del apoyo, porque ¿qué vamos a hacer?
Un momentito para que lo traduzcan.
Good morning. I'm here today with my whole group because we want to ask that you continue with the help for us, please, to keep us in our homes.
Continúa.
Creo que tenemos derecho, hemos trabajado mucho y necesitamos de un hogar para comer calientito, dormir y todo eso. ¿Qué vamos a hacer en la calle? Estamos cansados, trabajamos mucho.
Un momentito.
I think we have the right to have a place to rest after we work so much. We're very tired. We work a lot.
Continúa.
Entonces necesitamos el apoyo de usted para que tengamos la vivienda. Y si no, en la calle, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Vamos a hacer una perdición, ahí vamos a morir.
And we need the support from you guys to be able to stay in our homes and not be out in the streets where we deserve to have homes.
Okay, entonces yo vengo del grupo de AHF y ellos nos apoyan bastante sus beneficios y si a ellos les quitan el derecho de que nos ayuden, entonces no nos van a poder ayudar. Ellos nos dan muchos beneficios.
I'm here with the group AHF and they help me a lot. They give us a lot of resources, so please don't take their ability to help us. Thank you.
¿Algo más?
Gracias, eso es todo, quería agradecer.
That's all, thank you. That's all, thank you.
Okay, gracias. The next speaker is Andrew Grabner. You signed up to speak on item 14 and general public comment.
Oh, again? All right, I'm here to tell you to not further criminalize being unhoused in LA. There are a lot of people who are struggling right now, and we should be helping them. We should be providing housing and services, not just criminalizing their very existence and forcing them out on, and just forcing them over to the next block or whatever. And there are also a lot of people, a lot of students and schools and such that are also that are unhoused right now. And we should be helping them instead of just, forcing them to, move to the next block, destroying their belongings and they're losing access to services they may be getting, and we need to provide them with housing and services, not just criminalize their existence. We should also repeal all of 4118. There's no excuse for why you're just criminalizing their existence when it's not like you're giving them housing or services anyway. All you're doing is just throwing them in jail or fining them, or you're just, there's no reason to not be, helping them. So basically, stop criminalizing their existence, stop sweeps, stop, all you should be doing is getting them housing, getting them services, whatever they may need to be successful. Yeah, basically. Hell yeah. Repeal 4118.
The next speaker is Ayala Isuro. Ayala Isuro. Anybody here with that name? Ayala Isuro? You're speaking on item 14 in general public comment.
Hello. Special hello to my friend Kevin DeLuzer over there. I see your friends are here from AHF, Housing is a Human Right. Slumlords wanting more buildings, right? You should probably pass their items since they paid you $100,000 and they like bribing you, right? So for those of you who don't know, Kevin De Leon works closely with Susie Shannon. Susie Shannon, are you in here? You might want to wave. Susie Shannon is a policy director for AHF, and Susie Shannon is also a health commissioner. How is that not a how's that not a problem? What is it? Conflict of interest, that's what it's called. Okay, there you go. I call it, what's it called? Manipulation, I call it corruption, right, Kevin? You're fucking corrupted. So let me go back now. We're gonna go to the next item. 5 unhoused people die a day. PRK sites are closing and City Council is here to continue to criminalize poverty. My conclusion is one, City Council, you're all murderers. You're literally killing people. Kevin De Leon, especially you. It's fucking embarrassing that you're a Latino like me. It's fucking horrible. I also want to say everybody to the public, because most likely they're not going to listen to me anyway. So if the public is hearing, please shame every city council member that you see. When you see them in restaurants, when you see them at home, when you see them everywhere, shame them. And when you see especially Kevin De Leon, tell him how much of a fucking idiot he is. And yeah, we just gotta shame all the politicians. And Nuri, I want you to get familiar with my face because I'm coming for you too. You're not gonna be reelected. And fuck you, city attorney.
The next speaker is Bebe Olivares. Anybody here with that name? Bebe Olivares. You sign up to speak in general public comment in item 14.
Necesito traductor, por favor.
Ok, un momentito, nomás acérquese al micrófono para que le podamos traducir.
Sí.
Ok, por favor, comience.
Sí. Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Bebe Olivares. La razón por la que estoy aquí es porque quiero que los miembros del Consejo consideren la necesidad de no aprobar que pretenden quitarle el beneficio del programa SRO, del cual se están beneficiando muchos de mis compañeros.
Un momentito.
Hello, my name is Bebe Olivares, and I'm here to ask the council members to please continue to approve the help with RSO because it's helping me and a lot of my pals.
Y por favor, ese programa nos ha servido a nosotros porque nos proporciona vivienda a precios asequibles. Y si quitan ese programa, vamos a ir a las calles a ser parte del incremento de la indigencia y eso no es correcto. Muchas gracias.
And then also, if you remove that help from us, we are going to end up on the streets and we're going to increase the population of people with no homes. Thank you.
The next speaker is Betty Toto. Betty? Betty, you signed up for general public comment in item 14.
That's right. Today I'm here to advocate for solutions to homelessness. One, we have to stop the grab of LA's SROs. This is affordable housing that's being greedily taken over by corporate developers. Adaptive reuse of SROs is a viable, quick, and affordable way to give people a home. Two, repeal 4118. Don't expand it. It's antiquated. It's draconian. Criminalizing the unhoused, the poor for existing is inhumane and more expensive. And it's criminal if you do not repeal it today.
The next speaker is Chris Venn. Chris? Chris, you're speaking on general public comment in item 14.
My name is Chris Venn. I'm a stakeholder in CD15. I have monitored encampments on Gulch Road and Beacon Streets in San Pedro. Unhoused residents in these communities are multi-generational. Their parents, their grandparents live in San Pedro. They worked in the canneries. The canneries closed down. They worked in the shipyards. The shipyards are now closed. They worked on the fishing boats. There's no more fish. They need housing. Expansion of 4118 means death.
It means death.
The next speaker is Daniel Dickerson. Daniel Dickerson here? Okay. Yep, you
Good
signed
morning.
up for general public comment in item 14.
Thank you.
Good morning.
It is an honor to be able to speak to you today, and I hope next time I get to speak to you, it will be without such vehement hatred in my voice. How do you sleep at night? I know how. Behind a locked door, in an air-conditioned room, next to running water, not in a mud pit, to be awakened by the jackboot of an LAPD officer to tell you to get the fuck out of your house because everything you own is now being thrown in the garbage. I have heard some people, thank you. I have heard people often say, my respect has to be earned. Not mine. It is the birthright of every human being on this planet to be respected. My disrespect, however, can be earned. And you have earned that. I do not respect you because you have told me I do not deserve dignity or respect, that I'm not a person. I am indeed a person. I deserve to live. And I deserve to be allowed to own things. I have watched, while sanitation, under the guard of the LAPD, throw away people's diabetes medication. I've watched it happen. I have watched while people's family treasures, like family Bibles, stuff like that, thrown directly in the garbage. As are we, thrown in the garbage by you. Well, I will not live in the garbage any longer. And thankfully, I actually got into Project Room Key recently. Until Tuesday. Because it's closing down. And I do have a Section 8 voucher now. But I'm going back to the side.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Caroline Sanders. Caroline Sanders, are you here? You're speaking on items 14, 15, and 16.
Thank you. Public comment as well. So I want to start with agenda number 15. The bridge housing that you're building in East Sunset Avenue, requested who is it helping, how many people it's helping. Moving on to 14, to repeal 4118. Most of the requirements in this archaic ordinance, it says up to 500 feet away from a school, daycare, libraries. Okay, understandable. Then you have 500 feet from overpasses and underpasses. But what is most alarming is 1,000 feet from homeless shelters. Which one of you actually ever went to a homeless encampment? I've been scrubbing the internet for one picture. Just one picture of you even pretending to bend down to talk to someone in a tent. I can't find one. Not one. So what sense does it make for 1,000 feet from a homeless shelter? Have you been down to the Midnight Mission? Have you been down to LA Mission? Have you been down to the Union where they don't refuse anyone, but now they're refusing people and they have bed bugs? Just a few of the horrors in these shelters. You're not overrunning, you're not opening enough shelters over enough. You have $800,000 to approve to build affordable housing, which is retarded. On top of that, you have this ordinance and you don't go near a homeless encampment or speak to anyone in the tent. Please, for the next 7 days, just go to your local encampment, because there is one nearby NIMBYs. We know that. Go by there and say, hey, how you doing? What is your situation? How can I help you with housing? Just one of you. Just target 1 or 2 tents and sponsor them. Take pictures with them and give them a success story from your own feet, than from behind a desk. I am fed up with LAHSA. I'm tired of the blind eye you keep throwing. The county and the city's waking up now, but still, they're still in existence. You have Jeanette Rowe that worked there for 19 years. She's now the director in Midnight Mission for the women's program. They sleep in a goddamn 10 by 10 room. Not even a partition. So you got mental health over the place. So this is what I want you to do. Kevin DeLeon, since Matthew Ten Chavez is non-existent, your homeless deputy, I want you to open 440 Seaton, 400 Alameda, and 515 South Crocker, which I used to own. That is now for $3 million, which could be open to an emergency shelter. That's what I want to discuss with LAHSA. Nothing else. Open the emergency shelter so before you criminalize people for sleeping 1,000 feet from a shelter, that you put them somewhere first, genius. I'm not trying to be that. Genius. I need us to start using our brain. Okay, I'm not even going to speak about, Martinez, how you didn't allow Yolanda Robbins, who was in Skid Row for 35 years, to even have a minute public comment. I'm not even going to go there. But I want you to open the Sears building instead of opening up a school, Isaac Smirnoff's building that he wanted to do for the homeless in Boyle Heights, to open that Sears building that he had a plan for so he can do emergency shelter. Emergency shelter, I promise you, is the key. It's not your talking points. It's not your pats on the back. It's not another cancellation of a homeless strategy committee meeting in which you don't even allow people who call in to even come in. We don't have cameras in these committee meetings. You guys are literally taking our democracy as a joke. And it has to stop. So I'm going to submit to you, because I spoke to every one of your chief of staffs. I know all of them. And I'm going to submit the project that we need for emergency shelters. I want you to focus on Skid Row. It's only a half a mile down here. You can't fix Skid Row. Stop pretending that you're fixing the problem of homelessness with this retarded 4118 ordinance that is criminalizing homelessness. So I ask you to do your job before you go back to sleep in your 600 thread count sheets with your significant other. Think of our faces.
Thank you.
Power to
The next speaker is Eduardo Martinez. Eduardo, are you here? Okay, come on up. I'm going to take, after you, I will take another 9 speakers, and then we're going to move on to our agenda. Eduardo, you have signed up for general...
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I know. I'm just reminding the public that I'm going to take 9 additional speakers after you.
I'm going to speak on...
You've signed up for general public comment, and item number 14. Go ahead and start.
All right. First of all, good morning. Buenos días a todos.
Señora Martínez, Kevin de León.
¿Necesita traductor?
No,
No,
nomás
ok.
estoy diciendo los nombres de las personas latinas y nos da un gusto que estén aquí con nosotros.
Gracias.
La razón que yo estoy aquí, mi nombre es Eduardo Martínez, yo no soy empleado de nadie, soy voluntario y estoy porque veo que el programa que provee muchos de los hogares para las personas que no tienen hogar está en peligro y queremos tener el apoyo de ustedes para mantener sus programas y seguirlos utilizando. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you.
Do you want to translate that? Did you? Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm here to request that you please keep supporting the homeless shelters that help so many people so that we could stay off the streets. Thank you.
The next speaker is Esme Snow. You filled out a card to speak in general public comment in item 14.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi there, everyone. I work in public health, and I work at the intersection of reproductive health, mental health, and intellectual disability. And I get to see the fallout of all this. For so long, we have seen this cohort have opportunities to spend our money on things that actually help people. Things that actually help people. Health, opportunities, green spaces, transportation, nutrition. You all can spend our public money on these things, and time again, you choose not to. 4118 is an extension of these same policies that criminalize the most basic of human suffering. The most basic. Criminalizing people for being poor. Thank you.
You have an extra minute. You have general if you want it.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Your minute of general public comment.
And I would love it if you all could look at me. Because like someone just mentioned, I work in public health, and I also am taking time out of my job, my full-time job in public health, catching all this damage. So please look at me and just know that this is another extension of these policies that we know don't work. If you had an ethical, responsible policy analyst, you would know this. This is bad policy. Criminalizing poverty, it doesn't work. It does not work. I can't say that over and over again. We've seen you all, again, have opportunities to fix things, and time again, you're choosing violence. You're choosing to spend our money on criminalizing the most basic human suffering, poverty, homelessness. It doesn't work, and it's not gonna work this time. It's not gonna work now. And so I hope that you all can make the right choice. Those of you, who are gonna vote for this, I hope that you know you're choosing violence.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Francisco Salcido. Francisco?
Why don't you look at the speakers, Buscaino? So please. Shh.
Francisco? Francisco,
Yes.
thank
Good
you very
morning. My
much.
name is
You
Francisco.
are going to speak on item 14 in general public comment.
Yes, in my personal experience, I used to be homeless, and I live violence and crime because I had nowhere to stay. Now that I have a place, it's better for me. I'm healthy. I am trying to live a better life than I used to before. If I was homeless, I was doing crime and drugs. So now that I'm clean, that's the only way that they can fix that problem, not being homeless. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Frank Aguilar. Frank Aguilar, are you here? Frank is not in the room. Move on to the next speaker. Guillermo Fregoso. Guillermo. Guillermo, you signed up to speak in general public comment and item 14.
Sí, necesito traducción, por favor.
Un momentito. Por favor, comience.
Sí, buenos días, miembros del Consejo de la Ciudad de Los Ángeles. Mi nombre es Guillermo Fregoso. Yo soy residente de la Ciudad de Los Ángeles por 40 años y estoy aquí para apoyar el programa SRO.
Un momentito.
Hello, good morning, members of LA City Council. My name is Guillermo Fregoso, and I've lived in Los Angeles for 40 years, and I'm here to support the RSO program.
Estoy aquí para apoyar el programa porque el programa apoya a las personas de bajos recursos con la vivienda y si el programa es cancelado, muchas familias quedarán en situación de calle aquí en la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
I'm here to support the program because supporting this program helps that all the families here in Los Angeles can stay in their home, and if it's canceled, we won't have that.
Por favor, si pueden mantener el programa. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Please keep the program. Thank you.
Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams. He's not in the room. Mario Garcia. Mario, you filled out a card for item 14 in general public comment.
Necesito intérprete.
Ok, un momentito. Que nomás acérquese al micrófono para que lo podamos escuchar.
Sí.
Así.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Mario García. Estoy aquí en Los Ángeles para apoyar a estos programas de RSO para que nos tengan un apoyo para seguir viviendo en los cuartos o en
Un momentito.
Hello, my name is Mario Garcia, and I'm here from LA to support the RSO program so that the people that have rooms right now can continue to have support.
Y con esta ayuda que nos están dando estos programas, nosotros podemos seguir viviendo en nuestros hogares o cuartos donde estamos y no queremos ir a la calle.
And if we continue with this help, we can continue to live in our homes or the rooms that we have, and we won't have to go out in the streets.
Porque estando en la calle es muy difícil. Yo pienso que nosotros no queremos estar en estos lugares y por eso quiero estos apoyos para que nos sigan apoyando y gracias.
Being on the streets is very difficult, and that's why we need to continue to have this support. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Mary Matangly. Mary Matangly. There'll be 4 additional speakers after you, Mary. Go ahead. You filled out card for item 14 and general public comment.
I came here today to urge you, as many others have, to repeal 4118. Instead of offering long-term solutions to fix the problem, you are using policing to disappear people. So LA can fit the liberal aesthetic of a city who cares about its people. But anyone who has been paying attention knows that you all do not vote with compassion, integrity, or intelligence. You vote to keep up the status quo and to keep up appearances, but the truth is the people of LA are struggling, dying, barely hanging on, and you decide to kick people when they are down and create cruel ordinances like 4118. Throwing away someone's possessions won't help them find housing. Houseless people creating temporary homes on the sidewalk is a direct reflection of your failures. So obviously you would want to hide that, but hiding it doesn't solve anything. By passing this, you are ensuring a never-ending cycle of poverty. The way you vote today can and will kill people. Please listen to us and vote no on 4118.
The next speaker is Melissa Asadera. Melissa, you signed up to speak on item 14 in general public comment.
Thank you. My name is Melissa Asadera. I am the co-founding, I'm the founding director of Polo's Pantry and the co-founder of Homemade Meals. I'm actually here today because I don't usually do public comment. I'm actually out there usually feeding the people of LA. I'm here to give you some facts. I'm not here to piss you off because you're doing that yourselves. And most of you earn $225,000. You guys have time to listen to us, okay? So for Homemade Meals, we have collectively, as a community, have made 95,995 meals since March 2020. Most of the people here, Street Schwat locals, LA Can, and folks here, we have given meals to those folks. My friend Theo Henderson, he and I have met families living in the streets. We actually give.
Keep going. You have a general.
You have another 1 minute.
We give baby formula and diapers to women living in the streets. He and I met a family in Chinatown, a woman who was guarding 10 children, and they were living in a small room in Compton. And more recently, you met someone near USC. You guys have to remember that there are homeless students as well. Okay? My friend Mando Medina, he runs Nella United for Students. There are 9,577 unhoused students at LAUSD, over 100 unhoused students in Highland Park alone. There's 8 unhoused in Buchanan Elementary, and most live in their cars and near the school. The ordinance will push the elementary students away from a safe zone. So you guys have to abolish this because we are doing your work out there for keeping people safe. You have to focus on care systems and not criminalizing homelessness.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Michael Nakas. Michael Nakas, are you here? Michael, is that you back there? Okay, thank you. After you, there'll be 3 additional speakers. You filled out a card for item 16 and general public comment.
Hello, my name is Michael Nakas.
Can you get closer to the mic so we can hear you?
Oh. Hello, my name is Michael Nakas, and I'm here to ask you not to remove the program OS. Yeah, because it's better to keep them in housing and off the streets and not putting them into jail. So please keep the program. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Oscar Villalba. Oscar? You filled out a card for item 14 and general public comment.
Necesito un traductor, por favor. En español, por favor.
Can you speak a little closer to the mic? I didn't hear you.
Okay, mi nombre es Oscar
¿Necesita traductor?
Sí.
Okay, por favor, comience.
Okay, mi nombre es Oscar Villalba. Vivo aquí en Los Ángeles hace 16 años y vine para apoyar a SRO porque vivo en ese programa y no me gustaría
Un momentito para que la traduzcan, un momentito.
Hello, my name is Oscar Villalba, and I'm here. I've been in LA for 16 years, and I'm here to support the RSO program.
Y no me gustaría que terminara el programa porque quedarían muchas personas, amigos, familia en la calle y eso no está bien.
I would like the program to continue because many friends, family, and relatives would end up on the streets, and that's not really good.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Marta Alvarez. Martha, are you here? And after Martha, we'll take one more speaker, then we will conclude public comment. Martha, go ahead.
Good morning. My name is
morning.
Marta Alvarez, and I'm here for the Superintendent Carvalho in Los Angeles Unified School District. As
Can you
heard
get
from Los-
closer to the mic?
Okay. As you have heard from Los Angeles Unified and our leadership in the past, LA Unified is committed to student safety to and from school. We have seen over the last year and a half since the pandemic, almost 2 years since the pandemic started, an increased concern about homeless encampments near school sites. We are concerned about student safety, staff, and families who are in the school surrounding communities. Over the last school year, we saw over 120 school sites that had encampments. These conditions are a public health hazard. They're unsafe and traumatic for students, families, and staff as they enter school campuses.
Hold on for just a
We're
second. I'm
prepared
going to
to
hold your time. Everyone else that I've asked to speak, people need to be respectful of the people who are speaking. You might not agree with them, but you still have to respect the process. I'm going to ask you one more time, please. Let her continue to speak and have her minute, and we can move on to the next speaker. Thank you. I'm sorry about Ms. Alvarez, but
Well, in short, we are very committed to ensuring our homeless population, including students, are taken care of and we can support them. We appreciate all of the work of the city that has been providing supports and services and outreach to families. However, these conditions are unsafe for students, and we encourage you to please pass item number 14. Thank you.
And the last speaker will be Raul Volcones. Raul, are you here? Raul Volcones, are you here? Pick. You have.
You cherry picking your list.
You signed up to speak on item 14 in general public comment, and you will be the last speaker. ¿Necesita traductor? Go ahead, come forward. Go ahead.
Disculpe, voy a conceder a la
Can we
niña.
be respectful for the
Voy a
speaker,
conceder
please?
con la niña.
¿Necesita traductor? ¿Necesita traductor?
Sí, por favor.
Ok, un momentito. Por favor, comience, hable despacio para que le puedan traducir.
Quiere conseguir su tiempo la niña.
Conseguir el tiempo a la muchacha.
No, usted fue el que se registró para hablar, usted tiene que hablar.
Sí, buenos días. Mi nombre es Raúl Vascones. Estoy aquí apoyando al programa SRO para que mantenga el programa porque necesita muchos niños, jóvenes, mujeres que no tienen el programa, que no quiten, porque es muy necesario para que no haya más
Ok,
en la
un
calle.
momentito, deje que le traduzcan.
Good morning. My name is Raul Boscones, and I'm here to support the SRO program. And a lot of children, young people, and women would benefit from that. And if you take it away, they won't have that.
¿Continúa?
Aquí tengo viviendo como 20 años y veo que a diario hay mucha juventud en la calle que sufren mucho con el frío y todo, y por eso estamos aquí apoyando para que el programa SRO siga adelante, apoyando, que no se pierda, porque es muy necesario para todos nosotros que somos de bajos recursos.
Un momentito.
I've been here for 20 years, and every day you see young people on the streets suffering because it's too cold, and I'm here to support our SRO program, and if you take that away, there are too many people that are going to suffer from it.
Así que por favor que siga el programa y que entre todos podemos combatir para seguir adelante. Gracias.
I'm here to ask please to not remove the program, and we can all fight to continue to move ahead. Thank you.
Gracias. Okay, that concludes public comment for today's meeting. We're going to move on to the following items, members, so that we can vote on the following items. Items 1 through 13, items 15 through 30, and items 32 through 33. Madam Clerk, please open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
14 ayes.
Okay, the next item is item 14. This was called special by Mr. Bonin, but Mr. Bonin, before you speak, Mr. De Leon, I need you to clarify your amending motion on item 14.
I don't care who goes first.
No, I just need him to just, on the record, clarify the amending, amendment that he introduced earlier, and then I will have you go ahead and make remarks. So, Mr. De Leon? Does the city attorney have the clarification language? I just want to make sure everybody understands what the amendment is.
Just move communication A from the city attorney and file communication B.
Thank you.
Note and file. Thank you. Mr. Bonin, go ahead.
Madam President, and thank you, colleagues. I rise today, unsurprisingly, to urge a no vote on this, as I did last time. I want to start just by saying that I think it's important to note that this is not, as it has been portrayed in some places, a question of whether or not you approve of having encampments near schools and daycare centers. Nobody wants encampments near schools and daycare centers. Nobody wants encampments anywhere. This is a question of whether or not we are going to put our energy and our focus into a strategy that manages where encampments are by moving them from block to block, or whether we're going to put our time, our energy, our funds, our attention into ending homeless encampments by ending homelessness and moving people indoors. Now, some people will say, well, why can't we do both? And I'd suggest that we don't have a particularly good track record of doing both. Next slide, please. As we speak, news is leaking out that Project Roomkey is coming to an end. And thousands of people are at risk of being put back out onto the streets into homelessness. And even if we manage to find a place for everybody who is in PRK now, so they don't wind up back out on the streets, they will be taking the slots of people who are on the streets now who otherwise would be moving in. At the same time, next slide, the LA Times reported last week that the city of Los Angeles is doing a really bad job at using the federal emergency housing vouchers. We have been given, loaves and fishes by the federal government, and we are doing a poor job distributing them. We also know that around the state, next slide please, that there are eviction moratoriums are ending, rents are going up, and evictions are going up. Even here in the city of Los Angeles, let's make no mistake, evictions have continued, and rent is illegally going up in places, and more people are being forced out onto the streets. So with all of that happening, and I'll be fair, most of that, the PRK news and the emergency housing voucher news, happened subsequent to the council's first vote. In light of that, we have a choice to either focus on solving those problems, or we can go to the final slide, go from having a couple hundred places where people are prohibited from sleeping and lying, to having another 1,900 or 2,000 more. The effect that has, as we're seeing in Los Angeles County, people are literally being forced into the desert. Forced into the desert without services, without heat, even without the camps that Donald Trump is talking about. This is what is happening. the city has not been able to do what people here call a balanced approach, has not been able to do the solving homelessness and the enforcing that ordinances like this propose. We need to have a relentless, exclusive focus on getting people indoors. This ordinance is based on the false premise that the problem is that people are refusing to go indoors and we have a plethora of opportunities for them. We don't have a place for 60% of the people who are on the street, and the spaces with PRK ending are dwindling. The spaces available are actually shrinking. But more importantly, not more importantly, but equally importantly, this is a failed strategy on its own merits. There are 4118 signs around the city of Los Angeles. I think there are 300-400 different zones. Under most of them, there are still tents and there are still encampments. Even by its own measure, this doesn't work. I don't see how it's going to work any better by adding another 1,900 or 2,000 different locations. This is, I argue, a distraction from where our focus needs to be, and it drains time and energy and money from where it needs to be. Does it help end homelessness by moving encampments from block to block? No. Does it help anybody by moving an encampment from right next to a school to the sidewalk where a kid walks to school? I don't think so. Does it, I wasn't expecting the call and response, but does it help 17,000 homeless LAUSD students to approve this? No. Does this help get people indoors, or does it help to stop the fact that 5 people a day are dying on our streets? Does this help increase housing supply or make it cheaper or faster to get people off the streets? It doesn't. And the final thing I want to say, I wanted to just respond to something I heard last time we discussed this. There have been comments made by some that if you oppose this ordinance, you support people living and dying on the streets. And I need to respond to that because it's an outrageously cynical argument, and it's an absurdly Orwellian argument to say that. To say that people who are saying focus on housing, focus on shelter, focus on services are somehow wanting people to stay in encampments. That is not the case. What people who are voting no on this and arguing no on this are saying is we're refusing to accept that saying you can't be homeless means that you somehow magically won't be homeless. We are refusing to equate the efforts to make homelessness less visible with efforts to end homelessness. This ordinance does not solve homelessness, and I argue it is an incredible waste of time and energy and resources from the effort to do so, and that is where our attention should be exclusively focused. I urge a no vote.
The next speaker is Ms. Rahman. The next speaker is Ms. Rahman. Ms. Rahman. Ms. Rahman. Ms. Rahman. Ms. Rahman, are you going to speak?
I also rise to speak against this, and I know I've already spoken on this item twice, but I really just wanted to take a moment to reiterate today why I'm voting against this ordinance for anyone who's tuning in for the first time. And I want to echo a lot of what you said, Mike. I'm the parent of 6-year-old twins. I want them to feel safe in the city. It's something I think about every single day. I also feel very, very strongly that as a body, we need to be making effective policy here. We have to stop lying to our constituents. We have to stop making promises that the city simply cannot deliver on. We cannot pretend to parents who are desperate for change in Los Angeles that we can snap our fingers, pass a law, and end homelessness in LA by making it illegal to be homeless in a lot of places in LA. In fact, we have a year of experience, as you said, on over 100 sites since the earlier version of the anti-camping ordinance was passed. And in most of those encampments, what we've seen is that they haven't moved at all, or that they've moved 500 feet down the street. Neither of those are options that will create more safety for the students in our schools. We need to work towards real solutions backed by real resources that will result in lasting change on our streets. And the thing that's preventing us from having lasting change on our streets is not the lack of laws dictating where a person can and can't be homeless in our city. We actually have plenty of those already on the books that were never suspended during COVID. It's not having the resources that we need to end homelessness in Los Angeles. I don't want to see encampments around schools, around daycares, or anywhere else in LA. Homelessness is a humanitarian crisis. And that's why I want to encourage parents, school officials who were here and testified about these issues. Don't let us off the hook. Don't let us pretend that we passed this law and suddenly the situation on our streets is going to change. We've actually done that for decades here in Los Angeles, and the situation on our streets has only gotten worse. We have to put a system into place where we are building, for the first time in LA's history, the number of shelter beds and housing units that we need in order to address homelessness effectively. This ordinance does not move us closer to that. Thank you.
Mr. Buscaino? Mr. Buscaino?
Thank you, Madam President and members. Now, let me
Mr. Buscaino has the
Let
floor.
me,
Members of
Madam
the public.
President, you can restore some order here. One thing I think
So to everybody who's shouting, we will clear the room if you continue. So,
I mean, really?
so we're going to clear the room. If you don't be quiet, we will clear the room and you'll all be out. So, to repeat, we will clear the room if you don't let the council members speak. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. If you don't be quiet in a minute, we're going to take a recess. The members are going to exit while the sergeants clear the room. Is that clear? So you've got a minute. And then we're going to recess the meeting while the sergeants clear the room.
All right, members, we're going to take a 15-minute recess. I'm going to ask the sergeants to please clear the room. Thank you.
So for members of the public listening, we're continuing the recess for an indeterminate amount of time while the room is being cleared so the members can come back. Continue listening. I don't know exactly how long it will be. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, members. We're back in session. I just want to apologize to the members of the public who are watching us live or will watch this later tonight. We had a disturbance inside council chambers. I had to recess until now so we can clear the chambers and come back to work. Just to reiterate, nothing will stop us from doing the work of the people of Los Angeles, so we're back in session. Mr. Streffen, anything you want to add?
Just that we cleared the room pursuant to the Brown Act. The media is invited in, and we can resume the meeting after we take the roll call.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield present.
Bonin.
Still here.
Buscaino.
Here.
Cedillo. Cedillo here. De Leon.
Here.
Harris Dawson.
Present.
Koretz.
Present.
Krikorian.
Here.
Lee.
Present.
Martinez.
Present.
O'Farrell.
Present.
Price.
Here.
Rahman.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
14 members and a quorum, Madam President.
Okay, before us is item number 14. It was called special by Mr. Bonin, who already spoke. And now on the queue is Mr. Buscaino.
Whew. Thank you, Madam President. That was the greatest standing ovation I've ever received in my career. But also says a lot about a group of people who want to shut down democracy. So apologies to the general public for the disruption to the point where we had to clear council chambers. Members, the item before us, if you recall, over a year ago, I've asked this body to end street camping next to schools. And the will of this body was to send it to committee to study, which I disagreed with, but I respected. Here we are today. And yet today, after over a year, we're still talking about the concept of allowing people to live outside of a school instead of the concept of building more housing and more interim and supportive housing. In my district, we've built enough capacity to house a majority of people living in our streets. I've supported bridge home shelters. I've supported tiny homes, Project Room Key, Project Home Key, permanent supportive housing. But what I don't support are drug dens near our schools, parks, or anywhere children congregate. So what we have before us is a yes vote or a no vote. A yes vote, you'd be supporting safe passages to and from our schools and daycare facilities for our students, our parents who have been exposed to indecent exposure, fires, needles, theft, episodes of psychotic behavior, and sex crimes. A no vote will allow the continuance of this activity near and around our most treasured sites, including schools and daycare facilities. And I'll end with this. Vote yes for our students, our families, our faculty and teachers. Vote yes for Superintendent Carvalho, who came here asking for help, asking to protect his students. What we're doing here today is we're heeding the call of the action that's been demanded upon us to ensure that our schoolyards are safe and clean and our schools are passable every day. Thank you, Madam President, members.
Mr. O'Farrell?
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, I want to give voice to a few issues here. One is this unfortunate perpetuation of this false narrative that we're in this either-or environment where you're either criminalizing homelessness or not. You're arresting the homeless, criminalizing poverty, disappearing people. False. We don't do sweeps. We don't sweep people away. We don't imprison or even put people in jail. We have a very robust outreach program, a street engagement program that Urban Alchemy in my district has been active for a year and a half. Not to mention the Circle program in Hollywood, which they respond to non-emergency calls for service to help people in some form of distress. It's an unarmed response. Very successful program so far. I hope we can expand it citywide. Part of that, what feeds into that false narrative is that people have nowhere to go or that we're moving people block to block. Well, we're standing up temporary shelter and transitional housing as never before. Several hundred just in the last year alone in my district. We're under contract for another tiny home village to create another transitional housing opportunity. And everywhere we go, near a school or at our 4118 sites, we are offering a place for people to dwell under a roof in a safe environment. So it's a false narrative to claim that people have nowhere to go. And I believe, I'm going to stand up for this council. Everyone here is compassionate, deeply caring of people who are the most vulnerable among us. I'm not going to buy into this rhetoric that we're monsters or that we're murderers or any of that. It's all nonsense, and we just cannot accept that false narrative any longer. We should never accept it at all. And just to say this in closing, outside of this building, outside of this chamber, this situation that we all just witnessed are 4 million Angelenos. Not a couple hundred people in this chamber, but 4 million Angelenos. Hundreds of thousands of school kids, tens of thousands of parents, tens of thousands of teachers and school administrators who, for the most part, don't have a choice but to walk to school. I think it's perfectly reasonable that we can provide safe passage to our public schools and our daycare centers and everywhere else that is a very sensitive area, such as libraries. But this amendment makes sense. You better believe that in my district, my teams are going out to the schools. You heard the parents a month ago and the teachers from Virgil Middle School give very real-life testimony. They don't have the luxury of taking their child to a private school or even driving them to school. They have to walk to school. They should walk to school in a safe environment. We have an opportunity to help provide that safe environment. So I also stand with Superintendent Carvalho and the majority of this council and the majority of Angelenos who want a reasonable, balanced approach to this issue, because we're not just doing one thing. We are enacting an enforcement tool to use if necessary, but we're also housing more people than ever before. The two go hand in hand. So I ask for a unanimous aye vote on this very important issue. Let's protect our families. Let's make the school environment safe for everyone to and from and at school. Thank you.
Mr. Blumenfield?
Just wanted to add a couple of words. You know, one, the opponents of this have said that this is not the solution for homelessness, and I completely agree with that, and I think everybody in this chamber agrees with that. This is not the solution for homelessness. We are all focused on the solution for homelessness, creating the housing, creating the services. This weekend I was out doing outreach for multiple hours, working with people. I think we saved one person's life. We got another person into housing. This is the kind of thing we do every week. But the idea that that we should not have any restrictions on where encampments are is preposterous, in the sense that we already restrict encampments. We don't allow encampments on school grounds. We don't allow encampments in the school gymnasium. We don't allow encampments in the hallways, even though there are, it's indoors and there's showers, etc. We have to set some boundaries. And if we move the boundary from the literal school property to 500 feet, that is not that big of a deal and in terms of adding to this restriction, but it does make it easier and better for the community and those schools. So I look at this as, yes, we are already setting a boundary. We don't allow encampments in these chambers. There are places that we don't allow encampments, and that is okay. None of us want to see encampments. We want to focus, and again, the focus is not this. This is not the solution. The focus is on the housing and the services, but that doesn't take away from the fact that doing this is important. So I ask for your aye vote.
Any other members on the, any other members? There's seeing no other members on the queue. Mr. Cedillo, go ahead.
Dear colleagues, let me speak to you as a parent, as a grandparent. Let me talk to you about how precious our children are. They are, in fact, the most vulnerable of our communities. They are vulnerable and with very limited rights. They're so vulnerable that we vaccinate them at birth. We limit how they sit in a vehicle when they're being transported. We impose limits on their decisions, on their bodily autonomy of whether or not they can do drugs or smoke or consume alcohol. We establish routes for their school. It's called safe passages. We limit how fast vehicles can drive by those schools. We limit when you can park at those schools. So there is an agreement, a consensus, that we must protect the children of our community. And then we educate them. We educate them so they can become socialized and become the leaders, the productive members of our society and of our community. For some of us, that education has been a fight. It's been a struggle. Educational equity, educational rights have been a struggle for communities of color, for the African American community, for the Mexican American community. My first protests were for those rights as a young Chicano in Boyle Heights. But I didn't begin that fight. It began with the Lemon Grove incident in the San Diego area. Began with Mendez v. Westminster. It perpetuated with Brown versus the Board of Education. Key battles in our fight for the advancement of civil rights. From the Board of Brown versus the Board, it went to Plyler, a Texas case that defended the rights of immigrants to be educated. Because the failure to educate them would doom them, in the language of the court, to be on the fringes of society for life. It is that critical, that important, this right to education. The Los Angeles Unified School District is a district of mostly communities of color, of undocumented immigrants. We heard their leader come to us and ask us to continue to protect that right. That's what is at issue here. That will we continue the traditions of Brown versus the Board of Education and of Plyler, Leticia A., the California Dream Act? Because why do we argue that education is that important? Because for our communities, it's a strategy against poverty. It's the vehicle that we believe in, that we embrace. That's why immigrants come here, so their children can have a better life. So that they can get educated, they can transcend their class origins, become productive members, bring pride to their family and their community, and then ultimately transform our society. Some will run for office and get elected, but others will be successful in every area of society. That is a question we have failed to address in this debate, 4118. The balance between the rights of communities of color and their right to education, quality education, equal education, versus the claims made in this room earlier. And so I stand for those children and their right to education. I stand for those parents. I don't know the number of parents who spoke today. I have a sense that it was a smaller number than the majority. But that aside, the right for these children to have a quality education, a quality educational experience, is impeded if we fail to vote for 4118. We will turn back the clock of history, the largest school district in the nation, we say that these children do not have a right to a safe passage to their schools and a safe return home? It's a simple question for me. We'll balance it, of course. We have those land use powers, but the Constitution says we have to consider everybody's rights and the appropriate time, place, and manner that they can exercise those rights. And so this is what we are doing today, finding the balance between the right to education, protecting children, the most vulnerable of our society, and balancing the time, place, and manner, the land use, where people can be in encampments. That's the choice before us today. I think away from the rancor, it's a simple choice for me. I choose the children, and I choose our future. Ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Any other members wishing to speak? I'm going to keep this short, members, because I know we've had a really long morning, but what we witnessed here this morning, unfortunately, was really an attempt to try to keep us from taking this vote. I think people were intent this morning to shut this place down and keep us from doing the very job that we were all elected to do. And that, I think, is incredibly disturbing, that a group of people would shut this place down to keep us from doing the work that we all got elected to do. It's dangerous. And I think it's a wake-up call for all of us when we take these difficult votes, that this is sort of what people are going to start to do now. And what's even more disturbing is that so many of the speakers that spoke about this very issue, that claim to care about this very issue, don't even look like the very people that are on the streets, or the communities in which some of us have been trying to house people day in and day out, or the very people that even send their kids to our schools, or the kids that go to school. I am an LAUSD parent, and I am a proud LAUSD alumni. And I did go to some of the toughest schools where I grew up, where I had to figure out how to get to school and come back in one piece, because my mother worked a graveyard and my father was a dishwasher who never drove. So I didn't have the luxury of being taken by a nanny or being dropped off by my mom and dad because they were working. So I was a latchkey kid at 8 years old trying to figure out how to get myself back and from school. And the fact that we are not even willing to look at what the population of LAUSD looks like, and how these kids are being impacted by what they're watching every single day on their way to school, is very, very disturbing. That we forget about the very kids. Who's left at LAUSD? Any parent who has the ability to pay for a private education has left the district. Anybody who's figured out the choice and have figured out another choice for their child leaves LAUSD. So who is LAUSD left for? If it's not for children who live in impoverished areas, who don't have a choice or the means to go to a different school in a different community. And that's the conversation that, unfortunately, the people who got here today, this morning, to speak on this issue have absolutely no idea what that looks like. No idea what poverty looks like, or what it feels like, or what it feels like to go hungry, or what it feels like to know that your parent is going to get laid off of work and how you're going to make the rent every month. No idea what that feels like. But being accused of criminalizing homelessness or criminalizing poverty is just insulting. I think those of us who represent these neighborhoods understand what that feels like. And we carry that every single day when we come into these council chambers. A couple of weeks ago, we had a number of parents who spoke here in Spanish and spoke very eloquently about how incredibly afraid they are about the safety of their neighborhood school and sending their kids to school every day. They were in the back, they were shouted down, and they were disrespected. They didn't show up here today. And those, I believe, are thousands and thousands of parents that probably feel that way, that don't feel that it's safe for them to come forward and speak on behalf of their children, who don't speak the language, who don't understand how education works in this country. But they were willing to come here. There was about a dozen of them, and they're not here today. And I want to speak on their behalf and say, I'm here for you, I listen to you, I hear what you're saying, and we have to do it for them, because that's who's left at LAUSD. So members, I know this is tough for some of you, not that tough for me, because in my district, I am building, and I am housing people, and we're doing the outreach necessary to bring people inside. The least I can do for my community, which I grew up in, and I still live there, is to be able to clear the public right away for them to send their kids to school every day and feel safe. That's the least I can do as a representative of Council District 6 and the San Fernando Valley. And that's what I'm intending to do when I vote here today. I've been consistent for the last 9 years about what we need to do as a council to move forward. But today was just an example of what I believe is to come when it comes to this issue. The disturbances, the disrespect, the unabashful, privilege that people feel they can come here and yell and scream and try to shut this place down. Well, members, we're back in this council chambers. We're going to take a vote, and we're going to continue to do the work that we got elected to do. Let's go ahead and take the vote on item 14. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 3 noes.
Let's move on to item 31. This was a technical amendment introduced by Mr. Harris Dawson, which I seconded. Let's go ahead and take the vote on item 31. Open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Okay, Mr. City Attorney, I just want to make sure that on item 13, per Mr. De Leon, that we're going to vote, that we voted on approving item A and receive and file B. I just want to make that clear. On item 14, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Madam Chair, if I may, Madam President, that would be item 14, and yes, that would be adopting recommendation A and City Attorney Communication A, receiving and filing ordinance B, and the ordinance will be held over 1 week for a second reading to Tuesday, August 9th.
Okay, what's before us now?
The desk is clear.
Okay, members, are there any announcements? Any announcements? See no announcements? Any adjourning? No. Can we all rise for adjourning motions? Are there any adjourning motions to my right? Mr. Price.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, on behalf of Council District 9 and Council District 10, I'd like to adjourn this meeting in the memory of Reverend Mark Gorey, a true Angelino who graduated from Dorsey High School and furthered his studies at USC and Trinity Theological Seminary. He served as a pastor at Morningside Congregational Church, High Ceiling Ministries, and First AME Church of Los Angeles. An active community member who was involved in the city's Congress of Neighborhoods, Planning Committee, the City Grid Program, and the Baldwin Village Community in Action. He passed on June 3rd, 2020, and is survived by his son, grandchildren, friends, and family. He was a leader of the church and in his community, and he will be sorely missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Price. Any other adjourning motions to my right? Adjourning motions to my left? See no other adjourning motions. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.